Hello, and welcome to Verbling. I'm Teacher Oakley. For the next hour, we are going to examine the TOEFL writing test, specifically Task 2, which is basically writing an opinion piece. Okay, pretty straightforward in regards to the TOEFL test. They want what they want. So in today's class, I'm going to show you a basic template. We'll discuss how to organize your writing for the TOEFL exam. This is insanely important. Keep in mind,
Hello.
Hi, Gabriel.
Hi, Oakley.
Hi, how are you?
I am fine, and you?
I'm yeah. Well, I have a really bad cold, but other than that, I'm great.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, uh, okay. For are you Gabriel? Do you have plans to take the TOEFL exam?
I am very interested in TOEFL exam.
Okay. Well,
I know something about the test. It's the name IBT. IBT is a test in
IBT. Mhm.
IBT. Sorry,
Yep.
it's a test for a computer.
Yes, that's right.
So
Correct.
I have the program for test.
Okay. Cool. Great. All right. First, a little advice, and then I'm going to actually share with you and whoever else may join us a basic template of how to do this. They really they do not want you to be creative, a magazine writer. They don't want you to write a brilliant piece. They want what they want. Here is why. Basically, the TOEFL writing exam is scored on 4 criteria. 1, uh, do you answer the question? Uh, is your written material, does it actually answer the question that is asked? That's 25%. 2,
Okay.
is your writing well organized? In other words, do you know how to paragraph correctly? That is 25% of your score. If you know that, that's 25%. That's fairly easy, and we will look at that. Number 3, is it coherent? In other words, what they're looking for to translate coherence, do you use transitional phrases to organize your written material? For example, in my opinion, to state your opinion, my my first reason is, my first point is, first of all, comma, blah blah blah. Uh, you introduce examples. For examples, such as, for instance, do you introduce the conclusion? In conclusion, consequently, to summarize, very simple. That is another 25% of your score. Being able to use the correct connecting transitional phrases. So the TOEFL test is difficult but easy when you consider that 75% of your score actually has nothing to do with English. 25% of your score is vocabulary use and grammatical structure. Okay, that may sound odd, but them's the facts, people. That's the way it is. So I'm gonna share with you a basic template and talk about organization. Then we're gonna look at some actual questions, and we're just gonna practice brainstorming a little. How would we answer the question? Because that's part of the test. You are fighting the clock. Tick, 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 tick,
Yes.
tick. So you need to think of your ideas pretty quickly, and think about how you're going to attack the question. We'll practice that a little
How, how
later
much
in the
how
class.
much time how much time for that section?
Okay, today we're looking at writing task 2. Writing task 1, you have 20 minutes. You're going to have to write about 200 words. Writing task 1 is different. You're doing reported speech. You're writing task 1, you have a reading passage and a lecture, and you're just reporting how the lecturer either agrees or disagrees with the reading passage. That's it. Um, all third-person speech, it's reported. The lecturer says, the passage says, he says, it says, whatever. Task 2, which we're looking at today, is a personal opinion. So you should use first person. Me, my, I think, my opinion is. Um, yeah, it should be first person. Task 2, 30 minutes. But you need to write 300 words. And yes, word count does matter. It will affect your score, most definitely. Okay. Let me just say hello to some others who have joined us. Hello, Jose.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
I'm okay. Thank you. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Uh, good day, Michael. Hello. Good morning.
Good day, Oakley. Hi. How are you?
Okay. Uh, and hello.
So,
I have a really bad head cold. I'm dizzy.
oh, you told yesterday that you have you came down with a cold. Yeah, is it correct?
I did, and now it's here. uh,
Well, wait 6 days. You have more 6 days, and you will be
uh,
just fine.
6 days. I don't
If
know.
you have a fantastic immune system, you will be better in 4 days or 3 days. But average is 6, 7 days.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Okay. I also want to welcome Vu. Good to see you again, Vu.
Nice to see you again, teacher.
Howdy. All right. Welcome to the class. All right. Let's do this. Let's get started. I'm going to start by jumping right in. I'm going to do a screen share and show you basically a sort of an outline or a template how to answer, how to write an opinion piece, especially in regards to what TOEFL wants you to do. Uh, okay, it's an opinion question. Uh, the prompt will basically often be, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Perhaps, actually, sometimes it will give you two statements and ask you to discuss which one you agree with. Okay, in either of these scenarios, my first piece of advice in the TOEFL test: pick one. Either agree 100% or disagree 100%. If there are two statements and it says which one do you agree with, pick one of the statements and run with it 100%. You're not really going to get any extra points for trying to do a more complicated comparison essay. Not really a good strategy in TOEFL. For IELTS, this may actually be a good strategy because it allows you to use more varied sentence structure, vocabulary, etc. So, plus you have a little bit more time to play around with in IELTS to be able to do such an essay. In TOEFL, you are really fighting the clock, so my advice, keep it simple. Do not try to do a comparative essay. Do a simple, straightforward opinion essay. That's all they're asking you for. So that's the easiest for you and the best way, the most direct way to get a decent score. Of course, as always, use specific details and examples to support your answer, of course. Okay, let's look at the basics here. You're going to, very simply, you need to basic paragraph structure, you need an introduction, You need body paragraphs or supporting paragraphs. 2, 3, 4. Shoot for 4 reasons or 3 body paragraphs. I think that should be your goal. It is possible to get a good score with 2 supporting paragraphs or even with 4. I would personally, I would always shoot for 3. And then, of course, your conclusion. So basically 5 separate paragraphs, 300 words. You're probably all set as far as organization, which is one of the main scoring criteria. One of the 4 scoring criteria. You have 5 paragraphs, you're pretty much already golden there. As long as you organize them, of course, as long as they make sense as 5 paragraphs. Well, let's look at that. All right. Beginning, you start with a topic sentence. This is simple. You paraphrase the prompt. Okay, the prompt is the question. All right. The issue at hand is, all right, you're going to restate what the question actually is. Okay. By using paraphrase. So the beginning is very easy. We'll actually do this a little bit later when we look at specific examples. So we'll get back to this in more detail. Okay, you want to build word count. This next part is not absolutely necessary, but it helps build that word count up to 300 words. The issue is important because blah blah blah. It's always an issue, a societal issue, cultural issue. It's often it has to do with I don't know, morals or ethics. It often has to do with university and education. Not always. Very common topics. And then your last sentence of your first paragraph, this is really the most important. Just state your opinion. A very common mistake I see over and over again is to see this thesis statement as the beginning of paragraph 2. I don't know why, but this is a very common error. No, this is in your introduction. State your opinion. That's it. All right? You are going to have some kind of a choice, so I believe that, all right, take the information, again, from the question, is the better option because, okay, reasons why you believe your option is preferable, well, that's for your body paragraphs. So really a very general, overall idea why it's better. Okay, I believe that it is better for the government to implement pollution laws rather than allow citizens to deal with pollution by themselves because it is more effective in the long run. Okay, a general. I'm stating my opinion, but in a general way.
Sorry, what would you say instead of I believe that is better? What would you use something, another construction?
Sure. There's probably hundreds of possible constructions. You could start with, of course, you can start with many other transitional phrases. In my opinion, in my view, from my perspective, the way I see it, simply I think. You definitely should use a transitional phrase, right? Rather than I believe that. Okay. I think it is better to. Okay, maybe you don't need this phrase is the better option. I think it is better to allow the government to create and enforce pollution laws. All right. In my view, it is more productive for the government to create and implement pollution laws. I mean, there is just, basically no end. The idea is to state your opinion, however you do it.
But instead of better, what could you say?
Okay, I think the best choice, well, you could use best. You could use the, instead of comparative, you could use a superlative. Okay.
What else?
I support the first option to blah blah blah, and then state the option. Again, there's just a multitude of possibilities, really. Okay. In my opinion, it makes more sense to blah blah blah. I think it is much more logical to blah 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 blah. It seems to me to be infinitely more suitable to implement blah 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 blah. There are literally I could probably sit here for 27 weeks giving you options. There are many ways to say it. But fundamentally, the idea is state your opinion with a very general reason.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah. Shoot.
About the sentence. The sentence is about general knowledge, or maybe the topics of the sentence is clear.
Well, it's going to be clear because I'm just giving you the template. Okay, let's look at a question then. All right, this maybe help you. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? The purpose of education should be to teach skills, not values. There's the statement I'm working off. This part is pretty much always the same, or one of a couple standard ways to ask the question. This is always the same. It always says support your position with details and examples. So here is obviously the focus of what I'm writing about. The purpose of education should be to teach skills, not values. All right. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to rephrase it. All right. Agree or disagree? The focus of education is on skills, not ethics. I may rephrase this in my brain. This will actually help me to brainstorm synonyms to use. It will also help kick my brain into gear to start brainstorming about how I'm going to approach this. Okay. All right. As they do here. Should schools teach only skills and not values? Rephrasing this question. What are they really asking me? This is the first fundamental scoring criteria. You need to answer the question that's asked. If you go off topic, if you're not very directly answering the question, then that's going to count against you. All right, so the purpose of education should be, all right, should schools teach only skills and not values? All right, going back to our template. All right. I believe that schools should definitely teach values as well as skills, because I believe that values are just as important in the real world as functional skills. For example, that's a little weak, a little repetitive, okay? It doesn't matter, okay, I need to add, it doesn't matter which choice you make. There is no wrong or right answer ever to these choice questions. Makes no difference. it makes no difference really if your reasons are kind of not that great. All right, they're not asking you to be a genius. They're not asking you to solve the world's problems. You just got to have some reasons. All right. Okay. In my opinion, there is no need to teach values in school. That should be left up to the parents, and schools should train people to prepare them for the job market. Okay. There's another possibility. Again, there are gazillions of possibilities here. And obviously, you're going to use the material from the question to write these sentences. Just the basic idea here, okay, right? The question is whether to teach values in schools. I think this is a very important issue since the world today seems to lack any kind of moral fiber. Okay, state your thesis. I think that schools have an obligation to teach values because these values are not always taught in the home. Okay, there I go. There's my all right. That's one approach. Again, there's no absolutely wrong or right answer. I could take a lot of approaches here, but keeping the structure in this way pretty much guarantees you organization and coherence. 50% of the test, you're getting it right. Okay. Lots of possibilities, and that's up to you and your brainstorming and etc. Paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 are all going to be pretty much the same. You're going to use a transition phrase. Yes, you need to do that. My first reason is, first of all, my first consideration would be whatever you're comfortable with is perfectly okay for me. And then just state it. My first reason is that, okay, ethics and core values are not always taught in the home. Detail for reason 1. Many people come from broken homes or one-parent homes, and with the state of the current world economy, many parents do not have time to teach values in the home. Okay, there's a nice long sentence. Detail for reason 1. Tie the reason back to the thesis. Since, or therefore, or because, as a result, many citizens would enter the world having skills to function in the economy. However, they would lack any sort of moral scale and thus could actually cause more harm to the economy than benefit. There's my body paragraph 2, just thinking totally off the top of my head. But following this basic, very basic sort of template, all right? My transitional, basically topic sentence for my reasons, give my reason, detail for reason, and then a general statement about it, how it relates to my first paragraph. That's it. Body paragraph 3 and 4, you're doing exactly the same thing, but try to use a range of transition phrases. Please don't use the same thing over and over again. Additionally, second of all, moreover, as well, in addition. My second point is, again, whatever is better because okay, just use different transitional phrases. Thus, okay, thus and so, as a result, because of this, all right, again, different transitionals to tie it back in. Same thing. Body paragraph 3, same thing. Finally, okay, again, additionally, moreover, whatever, same idea. Okay, I like this choice due to, again, use different transitionals to tie it back into the main idea. That's it. And then your conclusion. Conclusion is actually the easiest part. You're just going to restate the thesis. Ultimately, I feel that teaching values in schools is extremely important. To summarize, I think that teaching values as part of an educational curriculum is the right thing to do. Again, there's a million ways to restate it. Just as we went through talking about a lot of different ways to state your thesis, you're doing the same thing again here. Really? Exactly the same thing over again? Oops, here. And a final statement, sure, if you can think of something really brilliant to say, great. If you want to just quickly summarize, if you still need word count, for example, you can quickly summarize your earlier reasons stated in the first sentence of each paragraph. I believe this. I firmly believe this. I strongly believe this because parents don't have the time to teach values. The economy depends on business ethics being followed, and frankly, it would be a lot more pleasant a world if people actually lived by rules of ethical behavior. Boom. Okay, I'm just summarizing my main points again. So the conclusion is pretty easy. You're just restating things you've already said. You don't really have to think except how to form the sentences. That is about it. Okay, any questions about basic how to
Yes,
write an opinion piece? Yeah,
I,
go
I
ahead.
I have a question. How many words must have the answers?
How many words? The whole thing must be 300 words.
300 words. And
Yeah.
in the software for this test, um, are there a word counter?
Is there a word count? I think there is. I'm pretty sure there is. I actually have. I'm pretty sure there is. Yes, and I think it's just like when you do Word docs and like down here in the corner,
Oh, okay.
it gives
Yes.
you a. Well, that doesn't work, but this is a PDF file. But you know what I mean. On a Word doc, it gives you a word count, or you can even do this. You can highlight and you get a word count for that
Yes.
section. I believe it has the same function. Also, you have basic cut, copy, paste functions. All right. So, you can sort of cheat it a little bit. You can sort of state your thesis and you can copy it and then move it down here to beginning of the conclusion and paste it and then just change some of the words around. You can literally kind of cheat the time a little bit. It's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the basic functions: cut, copy, paste. Any other questions? We'll examine some of the actual questions how to do this. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, let's take a look at how this person may have done this. All right, here's an example. Uh, okay, your opinion. All right, that's the first thing. You have to think of what your opinion is. Do that as quickly as possible. I believe schools should teach values as well as schools. Why? Because students need to know how to act in the world. That's kind of vague in general, right? It's not the most genius idea I've ever heard, to be honest, but it'll do. Um, okay, now you have to come up with more specific reasons. Oh, look, my reason. Students may not get educated about values at home. Uh, okay, reason two, education is more than just skills. Reason three, it is easier to teach values when students are younger. Okay, didn't think of that one. Now, okay, you may want to, or you may not want to, actually create, because you can make notes, okay? You could create your own outline. I would certainly not write complete sentences in the outline. Uh, just very quick phrases. And it would basically look like this. These are your three middle paragraphs. Reason, detail, reason, detail, reason, detail. Very simple. By the way, in the speaking part of the test, you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to use the same basic structure when you're asked to give an opinion. In the speaking section, you're going to be asked to give a preference. You're going to be asked to explain a favorite, your favorite kind of music, for example. So you're going to give a reason and detail. Oh, I love reggae music because it has a great beat. Detail, because it has a great beat, it's really easy to dance to. Reason two, I love reggae music because it's often played on the beach. Detail, I love hanging out on the beach to listen to music. You're doing the same thing in the speaking portion of the test as well, just with a lot more words in writing, obviously. Okay. Ooh, here's a good one. Let's play along. Let's practice. All right, here we go. Gentlemen, do you agree or disagree with the following statements? Students should be required to take regular standardized tests to prove that they are learning. All right, let's brainstorm it real quick. Michael, agree or disagree?
I'm sitting on the fence.
You can't.
I can't. Should be required to take a regular standardized test to prove that they are. Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree.
Okay, you're going with agree. All right, start thinking of reasons because I'm going to come back around, Michael.
Okay.
Boo, do you agree or disagree? Students need to take tests, standardized tests.
I definitely agree.
He agrees. All right, start thinking, Vu. I'm going to come back around to you. Gabriel, what's your position?
I disagree about that sentence.
Disagree. Yay, I'm so glad you did. Okay, so great. Okay, start thinking of your reasons. All right, it's all about fighting the clock. So, Michael, what's your first reason? Why should students take standardized tests?
Well, because but when that do they take? At the end of the year? When? When that's? I'm not sure.
Well, I'm
During
not
the
either.
year, during 1 week, each week, like, or what?
Well, I don't know any more than you do. We're both looking at the same thing.
Okay,
So
I agree because it is very important for university or for high school to know at what level is is the student.
Okay.
And standardized test, they
Okay.
help with that.
All right. We're just kind of thinking the outline here. All right. So your first point would be that it actually benefits the schools to understand the level of the students.
Yep.
Okay. Bingo. Okay, good one. Now, you guys, you're lucky because you have Vu to help you. That's okay. I'll help Gabriel. Vu, what is one reason that you have why should students take standardized tests? Brainstorming.
Uh, I think the student should be take regular tests every year because the because these tests will help them know know the accomplish- accomplishment of them. Uh,
Will help the students know the
now
what?
now what score are they having?
Okay. The students will know what score they are having, but okay. A
Mm,
score is a score. That's
the student also have many chances to review their lessons.
okay. There you go. That's a different reason. Okay. Okay. So students can figure out where they're lacking education, what they need to study more. Is that your point? Well, I'm going to take that as your point. Okay. Although in my experience, standardized tests don't give very good feedback, so maybe it's different where you live, boo. But for example, I don't know, in this test, in TOEFL or in IELTS, the feedback is not that great. They don't tell you exactly where you went wrong and what you did wrong. You just get general scores. In yeah, but anyway, okay, that's okay. You know what? It doesn't matter. Vuz says okay. Students will then know what they need to review or what they should work harder on. Okay, fine. Actually, it doesn't matter that maybe this isn't exactly correct or maybe this. Okay, it's a reason. That's what's important. Gabriel, okay, you disagree. Why?
Yes, I disagree with the sentence because I think there are skills or knowledge can be proved in a test. For example, to use a tool in a test, you can't prove that knowledge.
Okay. Okay, looky here. All right, Gabriel's giving a reason. All right. And then, for example, all right, Gabriel's giving a little detail. So if you're going to, if you want to use the strategy, and I do encourage this actually, if you're going to use this strategy of making a very brief outline, and by the way, you have 30 minutes, you need to write 300 words. If you're going to write a strategy, that should take maybe 10% of your time at the most. It will then save you time later, but 3 minutes tops. You've got to be able to come up with your opinion and make an outline in 2 to 3 minutes only. Okay, so great, good brainstorming. All right, I'm going to help Gabriel simply because he's the only one taking the other opinion. Okay, I might reason detail. This here is an example of a very basic outline that you might use so you can stay organized as you're writing. Uh, Notice I made you give your opinion immediately, but I didn't ask for the why part. You know what? I wouldn't do that until I think of reasons. This why part is the general, going to be in your topic sentence, in your topic paragraph, your first paragraph, to explain generally. So I want to see how I brainstorm my 3 reasons first, with or without details. Then I'll see how those can all tie together so I can explain it in a general way. All right. So this is actually a little bit different strategy, but it's something I learned. It's actually easier to do it that way than reverse engineer, so to speak. Okay. It's faster, brainstorming-wise. Okay, I'm going to say exactly what I said before, that standardized tests normally fail to provide any decent feedback, so students really don't benefit directly from this. And then I would give examples from my own experience. For example, when I took the IELTS test, TOEFL test, GRE, whatever, I can name a test and I can say that I did not receive, I had no idea what my mistakes were or how I could improve on my next attempt at the test. Boom. So, okay, reason, no feedback. Okay, if I'm writing an outline, this is what I'd write. Reason, no feedback, detail, IELTS test, whatever. And then I'd talk about it. Obviously, writing complete sentences. Okay, Michael, all right. You and Vu kind of got, all right, feedback for the institution was your, actually, quite a good idea, actually. And Vu is basically talking about feedback for the student to help them improve. Can you think of another reason?
It's very efficient and cheap to use this type of method, and is unbiased. Because if you try to find out the knowledge of the student by not standardized test, by what is opposite of standardized is what?
Unstandardized.
No, individualized, like
individualized. Okay, that's
yeah,
better actually.
you know, that's easy one. So if you try to give them individual tests, that could be biased. So there is a human factor that, some person would like the more creative answer or something. The examiner would like a better like the answer that fits his imagination or something.
Okay.
But when it's standardized, there is like this factor, human factor, is reduced to near 5% only.
One quick thing, examiner, not examinator.
Okay.
Like the examiner. Okay, and secondly, you actually gave me two very good reasons. Economical, from a purely monetary point of view. Obviously, standardized McDonald's is more economical than having 27 different, completely different menus, burger joints. Obviously, economy of, what is that called? Economy of
large scale production.
Scale. Economy of scale. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. So that's a good reason, and your other good reason, obviously, unbiased. So actually, that was 2 reasons. You need to recognize that, all right, as you're organizing to do your writing. Recognize that when one of your reasons is actually 2 reasons and belongs in 2 different paragraphs. Okay. You need to recognize that, and maybe you're brainstorming, you quickly jump to ideas, like Michael just demonstrated. Actually, he thought of something and it made him think of something else very quickly. That's the nature of brainstorming, but you need to dissect that and think, oh, wait, I've got 2 separate ideas. I've got 2 separate paragraphs. Okay? This is actually a very important part of the brainstorming process. You need to recognize when you have two very separate, divisible ideas. Okay. Ding. Hi. Is dinner ready?
What?
I don't know. I just heard some bell.
It's
Like,
my mobile phone.
okay, all right. It's almost my lunchtime, so I'm hungry. I can smell my wife is cooking lunch. Starving. Vu, can you brainstorm any more ideas? Maybe you can't. We've already got a number in your case. Vu, did you have any other ideas
Uh,
for reasons?
one reasons and one detail.
Yeah, it's just Michael's already come up with three. You've come up with one. You guys have plenty to work on.
Mm,
It's
uh,
okay if you don't have.
We
um,
are all set up and ready to go.
You're all set up. You're ready to rock and roll. You've actually got four supporting paragraphs.
okay,
But but here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Uh, okay, you've got, for example, all right, we've got, all right, what do we got? One, institution feedback. We've got all kinds of ideas. Feedback. Uh, okay, we've got two. We've got student feedback. Uh, we've got economy of scale. I like that phrase a lot. Okay.
oh, I, I don't understand. Sorry, teacher.
It's okay. I'm talking out loud. You don't need to understand. I'm going to put something in verbally chat. Just hold on. And we've got the idea of bias or unbiased test. You've got four ideas. Now, Vu and Michael, all right, in your position, institutional feedback and student feedback, uh, that could possibly be put in because it both deals with the idea of feedback. That could actually be one paragraph. So when I do my brief outline here and I look at the numbered things, I think, oh wow, maybe I do only need three paragraphs. Eh, probably could go either way. Economy of scale, unbiased. Now, okay, you guys both said in your opinion, students need to take regularized standard tests. Now, the why part. This is what I'm asking. Based on your reasons, which you've already brainstormed, what can you say? I think students should take standardized tests because. How would you say that?
I think students should take standardized tests because uh, the institution where they study uh, would know the level, could assess easily the knowledge of the student.
Okay, well, yeah. Uh, here you go. Here's my idea.
Okay.
Uh, okay. How about this? I would support requiring regular standardized tests for students for many reasons, comma, both academic and financial. Ooh. Now, that's what I mean. That is the general idea that covers all of your reasons. All right? A very easy way out. All right? If you can't think of anything brilliant and the time's ticking away, you always have the option of just saying, giving your opinion and saying, I think there are many reasons for supporting the idea of regular standardized tests. Or conversely, I think there are many reasons. I think there are a few reasons, whatever. some quantifier. I think there are a few reasons why students don't need to take standardized tests. You always have that fallback. Very simple. Why? Just use a quantifier. Okay. Uh, Gabriel, do you have any other reasons? What did we have? I forgot what we said already.
Yes, I think other reason. I think it's a lot of pressure for a student. So maybe a student have a bad time, so he give a bad test, but he knows the answer. But for nervous or other reason, he
Okay.
don't don't give good answers.
Okay. So your first one was the tests. What was it? The test.
My first reason is the test is not don't prove other type of knowledge.
Okay.
The standard test does not prove all type of knowledge. That's my first reason.
Don't prove knowledge.
All type of knowledge. For
All
example,
type.
for example, to use a tool.
So
Okay.
don't prove the variety of your knowledge, like all your
Uh,
knowledge in your head. They only assess only a little bit of your knowledge.
okay. All right. And then I had no feedback. And then you said, okay, pressure, student pressure. Okay, with our three ideas for no tests, okay. All right, what's our general idea? Actually, you know what? Looking at these three reasons, I can definitely see a relationship between these three reasons. Can you, Gabriel?
What? Sorry?
Uh, Looking at I wrote our three reasons, our very brief outline in the Verbling chat. And don't
Yes.
prove all types of knowledge, no feedback, pressure. Okay. I do that to help me construct both in the opening paragraph and the concluding paragraph. How can I tie these reasons together in a general way that I can use in both the first and the last paragraph? What I'm doing another step in the brainstorming process. First, I think of all the reasons. Now, I'm going to think, how are they sort of similar? I can see a way all these ideas are similar. Actually, can you?
Mm. Yes. I don't have the reason in this moment.
Okay. What I'm talking about is I believe that students don't need to take regular standardized tests because what is the general idea? I would say,
Because the test is not a good way for I don't know what is the word for measure the knowledge of the people of the students. Sorry.
okay, right. You're right. You're on the right track of what I'm thinking. All of our answers have to do with the benefit to the student or the harm to the student. Too much pressure, no feedback. Uh, so there's a number of ways we could do this. What I'm saying is this will help us think of a way to write because students should not need to take standardized tests because these tests can actually cause as much or more harm to the student as benefit. Okay, or all of our answers have to do with the student because these tests don't really benefit a student at all. There's different ways to do it, but the idea is how do our ideas tie together? This will actually help us in the different parts of the test. It'll help us tie back our individual reasons to our main idea, because if you remember, part of our strategy was in the body paragraphs was tying the reason back. If I've just done this by looking at the reasons and thinking about what the reasons all have in common, which I'm also going to write about here, okay, this option is better because these tests don't actually benefit students, in fact can cause them harm. Great. Now it's going to be very easy for me to think about how to tie it back in to this. I've just done it in my brainstorming. So with this strategy of brainstorming, I should be able to write this thing. This thing writes itself. If I already know my structure, my template, how many paragraphs, basically what I'm going to do in each paragraph, I should be able to write these 300 words in 15 minutes.
Okay, I have one question. What document did you use recently?
For this class?
Yes.
It is a PDF, actually, which I am licensed to use.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Hey, everybody. That was weird. Anyway, that's it for this class. If you really, really, really want to get your hands on that document or that PDF or textbook, please sign up for one-on-one classes with me here at Verbling. And I am more than happy to share any or all of my material, of which I have a great wealth of material. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
By the
Bye.
way, we're out of time and it's time for me to have lunch. All right. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day, teacher.
All right. Bye, Vu.
Get
Take
better,
care.
Oakley.
See you,
Get better.
Michael.
Bye.
Thanks, Michael. See you, Gabriel.